What is up, guys? It is RSC6414 here, back with another video, and back with more conference tournament predictions, like I said. This time, I will be previewing and predicting every game from the 2014 Mountain West Conference College Basketball Tournament in Las Vegas, Nevada, Sin City. But, let's go ahead and get to the predictions. The games start tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, or 5 p.m. Eastern Time, with the 8-seeded Colorado State, Utah State Aggies versus the 9-seeded Colorado State Rams. Remember, Colorado State made it to the tournament last year, but fell up short this year. Utah State's been in the tournament in the past. They've won the WAC. They used to be in the WAC, but no longer are they in the WAC. This game, it'll be back and forth just because both teams are pretty evenly matched. Neither team is going to make the tournament unless they win this conference tournament. It should be a pretty good game, but I'm going to have to pick the Colorado State Rams to pick up the win here over Utah State. They're both 7-11 in the Mountain West. It should be, the Mountain West tournament is generally pretty competitive. There's never too many blowouts. Sometimes you can get some surprises. So watch out. My pick, Colorado State to pick up the win. The next game we have number 7-seeded Fresno State Bulldogs versus the 10-seed Air Force Falcons. This game, not much to it. Air Force, never really known for their basketball, more for their football. Fresno State, same way. Mountain West is obviously more of a football conference than it is basketball, with the exception of San Diego State and New Mexico and UNLV at some points. But it should be this matchup. I could see Air Force winning. Neither team's really, like I said, neither team's going to make the tournament unless they win the conference tournament, the Mountain West. Fresno State's 9-9 in the Mountain West. They are 16-15 overall, and Air Force is 6-12 in the Mountain West. That's 3 games difference. I'm going to have to pick the 7-seeded Fresno State Bulldogs to pick up the win here and advance to the next round. So my pick, the 7-seeded Fresno State Bulldogs to beat the 10-seeded Air Force Falcons. The next game we have, the final game on Wednesday, which is tomorrow, 6-seeded Boise State. A lot of people that think Boise State should get in over some other teams. Technically, you could say they're on the bubble. No one really says they're on the bubble. They're just kind of there. A lot of people are saying Boise State deserves to be in the tournament regardless. They did make the tournament last year. They were the last 4 in, and they put on a decent showing. But, that was a big deal for them because they're also known for football. San Jose State's 11 seed. They've had a terrible year in basketball. No offense to San Jose State Spartan fans if you're watching this, but they've had a pretty awful year, if I say so myself. They are 1-17 in the Mountain West and 7-23 overall. San Jose State. Boise State is 19-12, 9-9 in the Mountain West. Boise State, you could say they could get in the tournament, but 9-9, 500 in conference play isn't that good, to be honest. In the Mountain West conference, it's not too strong to begin with. You've got 3 or 4 teams that you could see how they lose, but other than that, there's some losses in there they shouldn't have, and that's what's hurt them the most. They're probably not going to get in unless they win the tournament, in all honesty. So my pick, I think Boise State's going to beat San Jose State. I don't see any chance San Jose State wins here. So my pick, 6-seeded Boise State Broncos, but I do hope San Jose State kind of wins just because I feel bad for them and the fans. But who knows? My pick, 6-seed Boise State. Now, if all my predictions play out like I did with my Conference USA tournament prediction video, if all my predictions pan out the way that they do, I'm just going to go ahead and my predictions are the ones I think are going to advance. So I'm already going to pair them in the game. So on Thursday, at 3 p.m. Eastern Time, you've got San Diego State Aztecs, the 1 seed, 27-3 overall, played very well. The team a lot of people should watch out for in the NCAA tournament, as always. San Diego State's always pretty good. Then you've got versus Colorado State. If I my prediction comes true. The 9 seed Colorado State. It could be close for the first half, and then maybe San Diego State wakes up and ends up blowing them out. But I don't even know if that'll happen because I really can't tell who's going to play good, play well, or what day or what not. But my pick, the number 1 seed San Diego State Aztecs to beat the 9 seed Colorado State Rams. And it should be okay. I expected the first 10 minutes to be close and maybe San Diego State pulls away. But who knows? Maybe we could see an upset because anything can happen, as we know, in March Madness. The next game, 4-seeded UNLV Rebels. Generally, they're mentioned in the tournament talk. This year, they have to win the tournament, in my opinion, to get in the tournament. I don't know if they earlier in the year they were ranked, they were favored. I could see them getting in the tournament, but a lot of people, I don't know really. They haven't been mentioned too much, to be honest. Wyoming has no chance, in my opinion, to get in. They were on the bubble a month or two ago, and they kind of messed that up with some bad losses. UNLV, I think, is going to win here. It's in Las Vegas. I think they'll have some advantage. So my pick, number 4, UNLV Rebels. I think a lot of the fans will be there at the tournament. Since it's in Vegas, UNLV will have a lot of home support. So I'm going to have to go with UNLV to pick up the win here. And I don't think it'll be as close as the seeds indicate. So my pick, 4-seeded UNLV. Then the next game we would have, oh, and by the way, the UNLV game would be at 5:30 on Eastern. The next game we would have number 2-seeded New Mexico Lobos, another team that's going to be in the tournament. They've had a good year as well, not as good as San Diego State, but a good, solid year. They've played a lot of tough opponents, especially at the beginning of the year. Before conference play, they had some key top-tier matchups. But number 2 New Mexico versus number 7-seeded Fresno State. I see New Mexico winning here. I really don't see Fresno State winning here at all. Fresno State had an okay year in Mountain West, but not a great year overall. New Mexico's had a great year in both, so I'm going to have to pick the number 2-seeded New Mexico Lobos to beat the number 7-seeded Fresno State Bulldogs. That game would be at 9 p.m. Eastern, and then 11:30 p.m. Eastern. 3-seeded Nevada versus 6-seeded Boise State Broncos. Again, I think Boise State could be a sleeper here. I think they're trying to play their way in the tournament. And what better way to do that than to beat a team that's the 3 seed in the tournament? Not by any means, though, will they get in the tournament by beating Nevada. They'll have to beat Nevada, and they'll have to beat New Mexico, and then they'll have to probably beat San Diego State. New Mexico's a quality win, but I don't even know if I'd consider them in at that point. To be definite, you'd want to win the tournament. 3-seeded Nevada versus 6-seeded Boise State. 11 p.m. Eastern Time. This game should be a good one. But I'm going to pick the Boise State Broncos. They've got a lot to play for. I think they'll come out ready. They'll get the job done, and they'll beat the Nevada Wolfpack, who'd had a couple days off, and Boise State has been fresh, playing just yesterday. I think Boise State will come in here with a win and beat the 3-seeded Nevada Wolfpack. Should be a good game. So my pick, 6-seeded Boise State Broncos, will continue the dream and try to play themselves into the 2014 NCAA tournament. Semifinals, Friday, March 14th. This will be on CBS Sports Network. The quarterfinals, some will be as well, like I said yesterday. But CBS Sports Network, you will have the number 1 seed San Diego State versus 4-seeded UNLV, 9 p.m. Eastern. That game right there, in my opinion, will be the one to watch. You got UNLV, a team that was favored, that had more of a disappointing season than one would have hoped for them. UNLV has not had a terrible season by any means, but they've just been a little underachieving. It should be a good game. I could easily see UNLV upsetting San Diego State here. It wouldn't even be considered that much of an upset. But I do see UNLV playing them very tough. I could easily see this game going into overtime. Even though San Diego State has a good record, UNLV always comes to play, especially in Las Vegas. They'll be ready. I'm going to have to go ahead and pick San Diego State, however, to beat UNLV. I predict San Diego State to win in a really close game. Both teams have had a good schedule. Both teams have played decent, but UNLV's underachieved a little more than you would hope if you're a Rebels fan. But I'm going to have to pick the 1-seeded San Diego State Aztecs to advance to the finals. The next game, 11:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You'll have the 6-seeded Boise State Broncos versus 2-seeded New Mexico Lobos. Back and forth game. I think this will be good. I think this will be the story of it'll be close for a whole first half and the second half. I think it'll be close for a good 30 minutes, and New Mexico will eventually pull away, and Boise State's magic will run out. I'm going to have to pick the 2-seeded New Mexico Lobos here. I think they'll be too much for the 6-seeded Boise State Broncos. I think it should be a good game, but I'm going to have to pick the New Mexico Lobos to advance, and Boise State to probably most likely go to the NIT. And then the finals, what everybody would predict, the 1 seed versus the 2 seed, right? Well, they're both teams. They're the 2 best teams in the Mountain West for a reason. San Diego State, number 1 seed, versus 2-seeded New Mexico. Should be a good game, 6 p.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, March 15th, on CBS Sports. So I guess CBS is what channel will be, not CBS Sports Network. This should be a good game. I think it could probably be the best game of the tournament. I think it'll be a close game, just like San Diego State and UNLV. I think I'm going to give the advantage to San Diego State here. They're going to keep their good season up, and they're going to go into the NCAA tournament with some momentum, a Mountain West Conference tournament championship and regular season champion. So I think the San Diego State Aztecs will pick up the win here and defeat the 2-seeded New Mexico Lobos in a good game, but my pick, the number 1 seed San Diego State Aztecs to win this tournament. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed my predictions. There will be more conference tournaments to come. So stay tuned, please. Give this video a like. I'll be this channel. You can follow me. Subscribe if you like sports or wrestling. I do both. Sometimes more often wrestling. But March Madness is my favorite time of year. So check out my other videos and subscribe and keep going to my channel because there will be more conference tournament predictions. Hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for watching, everybody, and thanks for watching. Good luck to all the fans who have Mountain West teams in this tournament. Thanks, guys.